Hello, my name is Mariella. Welcome back to my channel. Normally I would do a food haul video of what I normally get at Trader Joe's, but today I want to talk about a little bit about Austin. I recently moved to Austin from California, Orange County specifically. I am a Texan. I was raised in Texas, Houston, Texas to be exact, from the age of 2 all the way up to 21. I then left and moved over to the West Coast, where I lived in the Pacific Northwest and Southern California. So once the pandemic hit, I decided to move back to Texas, except specifically move to Austin. I want to talk to you guys about 5 reasons why I want to leave Austin. I moved back in October. It is now July, and I am thinking about leaving Texas yet again. The first reason is the weather. It rains so much here in Austin. This year has been just, like 6 days straight of rain, cloudy. The humidity, I immediately remembered why I left Texas. It was the humidity, just the weather is so yucky. My fiance and myself love to cycle. We'll do 30 miles in a day, just a fun ride. Well, we can't even do 10 miles here because it is so freaking humid. It is ridiculous. But if you are okay with that, then you might like Texas, specifically Austin or Houston, or Dallas is not too humid. It's a little bit more north, and so you don't get too much of that humidity. Reason number 2 as to why I want to leave Austin is, I mentioned cycling. We are very outdoorsy type people. We like to go on adventures. There's not that much adventure to do here. You may think there is with like Lady Bird Lake and Lake Travis. However, since we've been here, there has been, I believe, 2 or 3 don't go in the water because there is dangerous algae in the water, and it's like, well, we can't even take the dogs out to the water because there have been some instances where pets have died for drinking out of the water. So it is deadly for pets. It is kind of disgusting. I don't want to be in that water. It's not, it's not clean or anything. I was used to going paddleboarding in Orange County, going to the beach, and it was just so beautiful. La Jolla, San Diego. Not to bash on Lake Travis or Lady Bird Lake. However, just me personally, I don't want to go into that water. We also went over to Jacob's Well, which is, I believe, about a 45-minute drive from central Austin. And the pictures look phenomenal. It's a beautiful blue well. It's like deep. It's a little cute river. Well, we showed up and it was like dry, nothing spectacular, I would say. So that's a big thing for us, wanting to just be adventurous and not being able to just drive 2 hours and being in the desert, or drive 2 hours south and being in one of the most beautiful beaches, in my opinion, La Jolla Beach, or honestly just driving up north to Santa Barbara, or even Arizona, right? Like you drive north from Phoenix and you're 2 hours north from Phoenix and you're in Sedona, the most just beautiful. You're in the Grand Canyon. Well, here you drive 3 hours north and it's the most boring drive. You're in Dallas. What is there to do in Dallas? There's beautiful museums and good food. But for us, we personally like more of an adventure, and that is just not fitting our lifestyle. So there's that. The third reason why I want to leave Austin is, going back to just the lifestyle, right? Like, I feel like Austin is a very, there's lots of great food, and there's a lot of great bars and clubs and stuff like that. Again, that's not my lifestyle. It's okay if it's your lifestyle. It's just, for me, I don't really like that. And so I've had a hard time trying to fit in here in Austin. I've had a hard time, honestly, making friends, and my coworkers may invite me out to go for a drink and stuff like that, but I like to be in bed and read a good book at around 9 o'clock. Reason number 5 why I want to leave Austin is the rent and the housing market. Ever since we moved here in October, my fiance is in tech, so we figured, this is a great place to buy a home. Obviously, the housing market bubble has just been insane. I have a friend who just recently sold her house a couple of months ago. It's a two-bedroom, 2-bath home in Austin. She purchased it a couple of years ago for around $400,000. She just sold it for around $800,000. That is insane. Good for her. Like, that is amazing for her. But for somebody in our shoes where we're wanting to buy something, that is just tough. There's not a lot of things out there, how decent homes at a decent price. So, there's been a lot of like fixer-uppers, but for someone like us, we don't want to we don't want to take on that fixer-upper lifestyle for right now. It doesn't fit within our where we're at right now in our lives. So that's just been really hard, and that was a huge sign for us. Like, do we want to keep renting and just wait for this market to burst? But shortly after that, we got a letter in our mail from our apartments, and they are raising the rent pretty high. They are raising our rent 60% of what we're paying right now. That is insane. 60%. It is crazy. And it just makes sense because they are trying to go on with what's happening in the market. So it just makes sense for them to raise up the price. But, starting in August, our rent will now be $3,500 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. I was so shocked and so angry as to, like, man, we lived 5 minutes away from the beach in Orange County, and we were not paying $3,500. So the fact that our rent has just gone up that much, it is bonkers to me, and is a huge reason why I want to leave Austin. Now, I'm not saying that other apartments are charging that much, but just be prepared. If you are renting and you sign a lease, once your lease is up, your rent will go up. So just keep that in mind. We signed a 10-month lease, and it is just, I'm just shocked as to how much our rent went up. And let me tell you, it is $3,500. That does not include electricity. That does not include all of our utilities. So we will be paying somewhere around $4,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So, there's a lot of factors as to why me and my fiance want to leave Austin. I am not discouraging anyone to come to Austin. I think if it fits you, it might be a good place for you to start your life, or if you think it's a good investment for you to come here. please come. But for somebody who is looking for adventure, someone who loves weather and doesn't like the humidity, somebody who wants to get a good deal and not get just screwed over, I would highly suggest to consider moving to Austin. I would suggest for you to come and just explore the area, stay for a week. Mind you, the homeless population is growing here in Austin. When I lived here, when I lived in Texas back in 2011, I would come to Austin on, quite a bit, and it was nothing as to what it looks like today. Even visiting 2-3 years ago, the homeless population has just skyrocketed. I mean, it is insane. It looks like LA, to be honest with you guys. There's tents all over the place, and there's tents under the overpass all the way up to Cedar Park. If you look at the map from Austin all the way to Cedar Park, they just passed a law here, and they voted for this law for them to start cleaning up the homeless population. But honestly, I don't know how that's going to go. So just keep that in mind. If I were to suggest an area to move to in Austin, I would highly suggest the Bee Cave, Dripping Springs area, especially if you're coming from the West Coast. I find that those areas really remind you of Southern California, or just the West Coast in general, because it has more of the hills. It's hill country. So that's what I would say. Let me know if you want to know more about Austin. Let me know if you want to do if you want me to talk about maybe some pros. There are some pros living in Austin. Let me know in the comments below. If you live in Austin, let me know what you think. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, comment down below. Everybody has different opinions. This is just my opinion. I respect everyone else's opinion. If you love Austin, that's wonderful. I'm glad that it worked out for you. But anyways, like I said, comment down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.